Yo, what's up guys, hope you guys are doing good. So today we are gonna see, what if, Naruto x Haku x Tayuya and Yugito, part 6. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. And I do not own this fanfic, also make sure to check out the author of this fanfic, Hakureisaiga, and support him for writing this awesome fanfic, link is in the description. So let's get into the video. Naruto had been hard at work, learning to stabilize the Rasengan for the past 3 days, until Kyuubi gave him an idea to work it out. Kyuubi told him that using the Kage Bunshin to focus on the last step would help form the Rasengan. The Jinchuriki tried out the idea, and it worked, but now he was trying to focus it using only one hand. Damn it, this is hard. Naruto said as he looked at the tree, which was littered with intricate spirals from the second stage Rasengans that he slammed into it. I can't really afford to rely on my Kage Bunshins with this to conserve my chakra. I will win that bet. The Jinchuriki thought to himself, alright, let's go again. Kyuubi thought as he saw Naruto work hard, he is slowly getting there bit by bit, he just needs a better focus to maintain and figure it out for himself. Naruto thought to himself, unaware of his demonic advisor, I hope the girls are having a better time than me. The FemHaku was annoyed for the past few days at the Uchiha's advances, but now she was glad that he came back, unconscious, and she had to watch over Tayuya. The redhead could still use her curse mark, but she realized due to the running through her mark system, it was slightly purified. The downside is that she would be extremely tired after using it for 2 hours. She was watched constantly by the Anbu 24/7 due to her affliction with pasty-faced, gay pedo rapist, to put it mildly in Tayuya's words. Anko took a liking to the young Kunoichi and offered to train her, so she would have some firepower if she doesn't work, and Anko saw herself in her literally, both of them were foul-mouthed, seductive, and abandoned betrayed by Orochimaru. The young Kunoichi nodded and replied that she would take the offer after her probation had ended. The 3 girls, Hinata, Haku, and Tayuya, sat in the hot springs together, getting to know each other well. So what is Blondie like? Tayuya asked. Haku looked at her, he is very kind and considerate of others, honorable, loyal, and has a powerful aura as well as a strong will. Tayuya asked, and how did you two fall for him? Hinata replied first, he defended me from a group of bullies when I was little. He got beaten up at the time, and my bodyguard told me he was dangerous because of the Kyuubi, so I watched him against his will, and found that he was able to get up even when he made a mistake. Tayuya looked over at Haku, and you? We were kindred spirits actually, he was alone because of his status as a Jinchuriki. I was alone because I had a bloodline, and at the time, the Mist had their bloodline purges. My father killed my mother and then tried to kill me, but I got to him and his friends first. There, I met Zabuza. Whoa, hold it, Zabuza as in Zabuza Mamachi, the demon of the mist? Tayuya asked in disbelief. Haku nodded and the redhead replied, shit, remind me not to piss you off. The ice user let loose a melodious laugh, don't worry, I don't get angry that easily anyway, I met Naruto on his first C-turned A rank mission. We fought, and I sacrificed myself for Zabuza when Kakashi tried to kill him. She paused for effect and continued, then Naruto used the Kyuubi's power to bring me back to life and somehow assimilated my bloodline. At first, I was upset that he brought me back when Zabuza died, but I realized that I was his first actual friend he made, and it was the same with me. Slowly, after a few dates, I fell in love with him as well. Tayuya said, heh, whiskers actually sound intriguing. Haku replied, are you interested? The redhead replied quickly, no. Hinata giggled, Tayuya-san, you said that rather quickly. Both girls giggled at the flustered redhead, who settled with crossing her arms and turning her head to the side with a small blush on her face. Meanwhile, Jiraiya and Tsunade were at the pub once again, drinking. Jiraiya made the decision to remind Tsunade of her duty one last time. So what do you want this time? She asked. Tomorrow is the last day for the bet with Naruto. I wonder what happened to him anyway. Without Jiraiya noticing, Tsunade slipped an odorless and tasteless drug in his sake, watching him drink it. And soon the hours passed as Jiraiya fell asleep and Tsunade was able to slip away. Back at the hotel, Tsunade was caring for her godson as Shizune explained his condition. Tsunade admitted Jiraiya was right, it was a foolish bet that I made with him and for me to get so worked up about it haha. Shizune knew the tension was in the air and decided to cut it. Tsunade-sama, please don't go tomorrow. Tsunade said nothing and Shizune shouted, why wouldn't you say anything back, please answer me, Tsunade-sama. Tsunade didn't move and Shizune declared, if you plan to go to that man, I don't care if it takes my life, I will stop you. Tsunade glared at her, Shizune, do you know who you are talking to? Instantly Tsunade crossed the hallway and knocked out Shizune. Meanwhile, Orochimaru and Gurin were on the way at the rendezvous point to meet the exchange from Tsunade. It could be problematic if we had any interruptions with the exchange. Orochimaru said. Gurin glanced at the snake Sannin. What do you suggest, Orochimaru-sama? Take care of that associate of Tsunade. It might be best if we kill her now. Gurin took out a kunai and used it to maneuver herself in a different direction. The next morning, Naruto woke up. Oh, I must have fallen asleep from exhaustion, but how did I get here? Kyuubi replied, the blonde chick brought you home after watching you work. The Jinchuriki nodded mentally, I see. Then he noticed Shizune on the floor, unconscious. What the hell, why is she on the ground? Let's see, no indication of hard training, and she vehemently doesn't drink at all. Better wake her up and ask. He woke the young woman up and she got up groggily, Naruto. But you aren't supposed to be awake until tomorrow. Shizune-san, you forget that I am a Jinchuriki with a body that resembles much like a you think I would stay in bed that long. I guess that is true wait, oh no, we have to hurry, Lady Tsunade is meeting with Orochimaru. She said in realization while Naruto narrowed his eyes, what? Shizune rushed to the window and Naruto's hearing perked up on something, he yanked her back to avoid a kunai. Both of them looked out the window to see Jiraiya, haggard and panting. Hiro-sensei. Naruto looked at him, what happened to you? Jiraiya replied tiredly, Tsunade drugged my sake, I can hardly feel or mold my chakra properly, and on top of that, my body stings like hell. Naruto pulled the kunai out of the wooden frame and said, then there is no time to waste, we better find that woman before she gets herself killed. Gurin was hiding in the shadows, for Jiraiya-sama to even be here, this has gotten more complicated. I will have to report this to Orochimaru-sama, and this kid, who is he? Is he Jiraiya-sama's apprentice? She shifted back and Jiraiya along with Naruto glanced at the place that Gurin was previously at. Jiraiya said, Naruto, Shizune, let's go, and Shizune explained on the way about Orochimaru's promise. Shizune said, hi. Tsunade the slug Sannin was leaning against the wall where she first met Orochimaru after so many years, looking at the destroyed rocks. Orochimaru approached her carefully, the answer is she turned to Orochimaru, you will get your arms back on one condition you don't touch the Leaf Village ever, understand? The snake Sannin smiled in triumph, alright, Tsunade, let's do it they walk toward each other, and Tsunade puts her chakra to her hands, just as Orochimaru painfully raised his arms to meet her, until they were stopped by a lone kunai thrown by a mysterious assailant. Orochimaru said, well this is a surprise, I never anticipated that you would betray me like this Tsunade. To try and kill me, but I trust you, Gurin from the bottom of my heart, your loyalty as well as your ability to see through Tsunade's attack. Yes, although I am not in the medical field that much, Kabuto-san did teach me how to recognize different chakra, and her chakra was set to kill. Gurin replied, and Orochimaru turned to his former associate, Tsunade, I really plan to give you two back, and I even promised not to touch the Leaf Village. Tsunade smirked, cut the bullshit, Orochimaru you were lying about not touching the village through your teeth, that much is certain. I knew that, but those two to see those two, just to touch them, to see their smiling faces one more time I realized that I was being an idiot. I loved them because I truly loved them, and meeting that kid, Naruto he reminded me of their dreams, to bet everything even their lives for that dream. Tsunade began to cry a bit, all things that have shape eventually decay you have said that once, but only this feeling will not decay at all at that time, she was crying, and Orochimaru said, so the deal is off, no choice then we will just have to force you to do it. Tsunade wiped her tears away, and her honey-brown eyes shone with a simmering fire, she sprang at the two Odo ninjas. Tsukaku. Orochimaru and Gurin dodged just in time to see Tsunade creating a huge crater. Let's do it, Gurin. Orochimaru said, and Gurin commented, I told you this medicine was going to be beyond bitter. Orochimaru gave a small chuckle, come to think of it, I realized that I have never fought against you. Tsunade threw off her jacket, that is true. Gurin replied, great, so I guess that I am fighting her. Tsunade roared, you won't have to worry about that soon enough because you will be dead. She slammed her fist against the wall, and the two jumped away. Orochimaru replied, yep, and even one hit could kill you. I noticed, but Orochimaru-sama, this place is a bit too crowded to fight. We are moving. Orochimaru said with a raised eyebrow. Yes, it would be wise since we have another one of Tsunade's associates with her servant as well. Who is it? He is one of you, and Tsunade's kind of the three Sannins. Orochimaru thought, you are here too. Tsunade glared at them, I won't let you escape. She gave chase to them as they moved to a new location. Soon the three of them including Taunton landed to the ground to see the destruction in the same place where Shizune and Tsunade first met the devious duo of doom after several years. The rubble looks a bit fresh, it looks like our little princess declined Orochimaru's offer. Jiraiya said, they couldn't have gone far from here. Good, I don't have to kick my relative's ass at all then. Naruto commented. Jiraiya said, come on, we must hurry, Tsunade won't last against Orochimaru for long. Right. Shizune said. Meanwhile, Tsunade was panting out of breath and trying to bash Orochimaru and Gurin brains inside their skulls. Knowing that the small area was a disadvantage to them, Gurin made the suggestion to move to a more suitable location. Orochimaru agreed, letting his fuckbudder right-hand man lead him to a large clearing. It seems that Tsunade Haim is out of breath. It might be a good time to put it to use. Orochimaru said. Gurren took out a soldier pill and ate it as she said, although Taijutsu is actually my forte, we do need her alive and well. Well, at least Kabuto was able to teach me some things. Then she made hand signs, chakra mesu no jutsu. So she knows about medicine as well. Tsunade thought. Then the Iryonin decided to take the time to disappear and her eyes widened as Gurren's hand exploded from the ground beneath her feet. She jumped into the air and slammed her fist quickly into the ground, but Gurren managed to evade the deadly strike. Large chunks of stone surrounded the two medical ninjas and Tsunade looked to see a large stone by her foot and she chose to kick it at Gurren. Her kneeling form disappeared from the stone's deadly path and was behind her in an instant while she was in midair. Gurren touched her bicep and abdomen only to leave Tsunade with an opening as she touched down on the ground. She slammed her shoulder into Gurren's chest, making him slide back a few inches from her. Ouch. Tsunade said. Damn, she cut my muscles. She thought to herself. That is right, I have cut your bicep and abdomen muscles, so that super strength trait of yours will not be a hassle to me anymore. Chakra scalpels. But if you have that, then why would you cut my muscles? Why aren't you aiming from my arteries? Although my skills in the medical field are excellent, in the midst of a battle, I am not that accurate to aim for your arteries or main organs, but if I aim at your neck, it shouldn't be a problem. As he said this statement, he moved toward Tsunade and struck her. Tsunade, thinking that she was aiming at the neck, moved to block, but Gurren proved that it was a feint and aimed at her chest instead. Damn you, you hit my lungs and can't breathe. Tsunade coughed. Then she thought, she isn't an ordinary Iryonin. Her speed and strength exceeded my own even in my prime, it was like I was hitting diamonds. Gurren ran a hand through her hair. It would be a bother if you were to die, so I won't aim for your neck, but after that blow you shouldn't be able to move around. But she was surprised as Tsunade sent him sprawling to the ground with a blow to the neck. Damn it, it didn't hit her lungs at all, I guess those large ones are good for something. It seems that I need to be a bit more serious about this. Suddenly she noticed that her body was going haywire. Wah wham. Tsunade lands a punch across her face before she could figure out what was happening to his body. This isn't caused by my muscles, it's caused by my nervous system. Tsunade replied, I see that you seem to realize your problem. I converted my chakra into electricity and transferred it throughout your body. Orochimaru thought, phew, I see all communication between the body and the brain is carried out by electricity, but Tsunade disrupted the initial flow by sending more electricity. Now the signals in Gurren's body are sending so many signals that it can't distinguish them all. Tsunade took advantage of the situation by healing herself while Gurren knelt there to figure out his body. Okay, if I move my right hand, my left leg moves. If I move my left foot, my right shoulder moves. In a matter of moments, Gurren was able to figure out 60% of her body. Good thing I had some crystal on most of my skeleton. It could have been worse. She thought to herself as she got up. Don't think that this level of power can defeat me. Gurren shouted. What? She figured out how to control her body already? You're afraid of blood, right? I'll show you some now. I'll scatter just enough blood until you are at the brink of death. Gurren declared as she brought down the kunai, but she was stopped. She looked down to see a white sword blocking his kunai and the person who was wielding it. Who the hell are you, kid? Naruto looked at him, hello, I am Naruto Uzumaki and you must be Kabuto-san's replacement. Gurren narrowed her eyes on Naruto, Kabuto was a fool, but me, on the other hand, I am on another different level. The boy swung Oblivion in her blind spot only for Gurren to go to one-handed signs to create a crystal-like blade. Susho 2. Naruto looked at it, crystal the two sprang back from each other, and Tsunade thought, that is why I felt like I was punching diamonds, she possessed the rumored crystal release Kekkei Genkai. Naruto, you haven't changed a bit, Orochimaru Jiraiya commented. Orochimaru replied, it's been a long time, Jiraiya. Suddenly Jiraiya was bowled over by Tsunade to attack Gurren, only for the girl to cut her arm to get blood spattered over her. Blood, Tsunade thought as she froze. My body is almost back to normal, Gurren said. Then he thought, it is bad enough for me to engage two of the Sannin, as well as lose face in front of Orochimaru-sama. But I won't lose. She punched Tsunade back, but Shizune caught her as she cried out, Tsunade-sama. Naruto lazily rested Oblivion on his shoulder to sheath Oathkeeper, Sensei, I am guessing you take Orochimaru, while I will take Princess over there. Jiraiya stepped beside him, that seems to be the gist of it, Naruto. The Jinchuriki whispered, how good is your body? Jiraiya said, around 35%. Naruto said, well, don't get killed now, I still need you to teach me things. The Toad Sannin got in a stance, yeah, whatever, but you be careful, that Kabuto kid underestimated you. She won't, and that damage she gave to Tsunade would mean that she is at least as strong as Kakashi. Gurren took out a blood-stopping pill and ate it as Orochimaru commented, you are bleeding quite a lot. Gurren replied, I know, please remove your left bandage. The Hibi Sannin did so, and Jiraiya shouted, Kuchius no. Gurin drew her bloodied finger over the tattoo and slammed her hands on the ground while shouting, Kuchiyas no Jutsu. Two huge snakes appeared while a toad named Gamakichi appeared on Jireya's side. It looks like your stupidity hasn't been cured, Jireya, then I will attack first. Orochimaru declared as the two jumped on the snakes, and the snake struck out as Orochimaru called out to his new right-hand woman, I will take Jireya, you can handle the rest. Gurin nodded as she thought, I will take out the servant bitch and then go for the brat. The snakes hit the ground and Shizune jumped away with Tsunade in tow, along with Taunton. Naruto jumped along with Gamakichi and perked up as he saw the snake's fanged maw. Oh, hell, no one tried eating me once, it will not happen a second time. Takitsu Ryu. Ketasenka. Naruto thrusted out his sword as he gathered his chakra in the air to create a long eye spike connected from his sword. Gamakichi said, damn, the snake fell dead on the ground. Meanwhile Gurin engaged Shizune after dodging her poison and struck her in the chest. Damn Ninpu. Dakijiri no Jutsu. She spewed out a large poisonous gas at Gurin, but she evaded it and grabbed her legs to make her fall. Damn it. She shouted as she knelt to the ground, the strength in my legs. Jireya added chakra to his feet to steady himself on an unearthed rock and turned to see Orochimaru coming from behind him on a snake. Your opponent is me, Jireya thought as he flipped through hand signs, so he was underground like always. Jireya shouted, Doten. Yumi Numa. The snake was sunk halfway into the swamp. Damn, the drug is still affecting my chakra, the toad Sanin thought. Then he looked around as she said, and the snake was still moving. Ninpu. Hari Jizo. Jireya shouted as his hair elongated and sharpened to cover his body. Orochimaru ran at him while elongating his neck to bite Jireya on his neck. Damn. My is not effective. Orochimaru thought to himself. We've both hit each other, but if I add a bit more. Ugh, Jireya gasped out. Just quit already, Orochimaru voiced, and Jireya glared at his former teammate. Shizune screamed out in pain as she was sent to the ground unconscious and came over to Tsunade, but then she turned around to shout, Shoten. Sho Senbon. Naruto forced himself into hand signs, Hyoten. Hyo Senbon. The crystal and ice needles cancelled each other and Gurin smirked, so you possess the Hyoten bloodline, but that bloodline was only from the mist, how did you acquire it? Naruto grinned, wouldn't you like to know? Orochimaru took a brief pause to look at Naruto in a standoff with his right-hand man. Ah, there goes the insanity of my old pathetic village. You've become a companion to that orphan kid and for the sake of Konoha, you have been reduced to being a guardian to the whelp. My talent in seeing through people is unsurpassed, in my eyes he is nothing but a common kid. Jireya smirked and looked at what Kabuto is now just a vegetable, but you are correct about seeing through people, that is for sure. I wouldn't need a kid like Sasuke, teaching a natural prodigy is too boring. So you sought out someone like yourself. I can't beat the Sharingan user, who was heir to the Uchiha clan, but why bother with someone like Naruto, who hasn't got something that special of a bloodline? I am intrigued how he acquired that Hyoten as well though. Orochimaru said. He continued, the Sharingan is a ninja talent that enables the user to use and master every and any technique in the world, that is what Sasuke's heritage entails, and all he needs to do is encounter those techniques. Jireya chuckled lightly, it looks like you still haven't learned a thing since that day, Orochimaru. That is not what makes a shinobi to be called a ninja. Orochimaru said, oh, and what is your perspective? Jireya said, I will enlighten you then it is not the number of your prestigious heritage. No, the most important thing is a spirit that never backs down, and that kitty got that thing in spades. Naruto cracked his neck and held out his sword, shall we dance, princess? Gurin made two blades on her arms, you lead, beat the Jinchuriki started to move until Tsunade shouted, Naruto, run away she is way out of your league. That is enough. The Jinchuriki turned to her with a smile, Bachan, don't worry I refuse to let myself or my comrades die. Suddenly Gurin made her move by stabbing Naruto in the stomach, you dropped your guard. Naruto nodded, yep, I did oh, by the way, Bunshin Daibakuha. Gurin's eyes widened as she was caught in the blast, and the real Naruto moved Shizune and Tsunade behind a rock. Stay here. I will take care of this. The Jinchuriki looked to see that Gurin was unscathed and noticed a glint off of her, so you coated yourself with crystal as armor, interesting Naruto flipped through hand signs, Suiton. Hanryu. He shot his hand out toward Gurin, who responded, Shoten. Keso Gakukuro. The torrent of water was captured by the crystal, and Gurin said simply, that won't work on me, brat. Naruto thought, damn, Kyuubi, do you know anything about this? Kyuubi said, basically her crystal release can capture physical properties and use them against you. Naruto narrowed his eyes, so I can't use my aura at all, what about Futon or Raiden? Kyuubi said, you can use wind or lightning ninjutsu, neither can be captured at all. Naruto sheathed Oblivion and got in his Taijutsu stance, great, so I am left with Taijutsu, 1, and most of my arsenal is shot to hell, note to self. Pester Kakashi sensei for more. Rin sprang at Naruto, who dodged her blades with grace, and he aimed a kick at her side. She blocked it and punched Naruto in the chest, who popped out of existence. "Damn brat, stop being a coward and fight me seriously," she shouted. Naruto burst out of the ground to land a hit on her chin. "You should be used to this type of fighting, after all, your master seems to just do underhanded tactics, and when he is about to lose, he runs like a dog with its tail tucked between its legs." Rin's eyes widened in rage. "You are dead, you will pay for insulting Orochimaru-sama." She came toward him and shouted, "Shoten. Sushoro no Jutsu." Naruto noticed a crystal appeared on his arm and said, "What?" Suddenly he was encased in crystal, and Rin punched the crystal to shatter into glass. Rin smirked, and he was dead. She turned to Tsunade and walked slowly to her. "And now for you, Tsunade-sama, it is time to come back with us." Tsunade looked up at Gurren, and then she smiled at her. "You may want to redirect your attention, miss." Gurren turned to see Naruto sitting on a nearby rock. "You." Naruto raised his hand and said, "Yo." Gurren attacked him after flipping through hand signs and creating a dragon made out of crystal to attack Naruto, who said, "Takitsu Ryu." Batajutsu. Hirameki. The Jinchuriki disappeared and Gurren's eyes widened. Where did he go? Suddenly there was a crack in the dragon she was on, and she looked behind to see Naruto with his sword on his shoulder to stare at her. Time to end this. He put Oblivion back in its rightful place and held out a hand that began to gather chakra. What is his chakra? Is it becoming visible and powerful? What kind of a technique is this? She thought to herself, whatever it is, I can't get hit with that thing. Tsunade thought in surprise, no way, he actually mastered the Rasengan. Naruto ran towards the dragon and Gurren shouted, "I won't let you." Kesso. Rikaku Shuriken. Ranbu. She condensed crystal particles around her to send shuriken his way. Naruto dodged and weaved until he shouted, "Futen." Juhasho. Using his left hand, he sent the shurikens flying or breaking into pieces and went on the crystal dragon. Naruto jumped into the air to slam the condensed chakra ball at Gurren, who dodged at the last minute and shouted after making hand signs, "Kesso no Yoroi." Instantly an armor of crystal appeared over her and Naruto shouted, "Rasengan." He drove the ball into her chest and the crystal armor began to crack to Gurren's surprise. What? The ball broke through her defense and slammed into her abdomen, making her fall backwards. She flew backwards into a rock hard and Naruto paused in exertion. Jiraiya glanced over at their fight and thought, Naruto sure got her good. Orochimaru took a glance over at him as well. That Kyuubi kid was able to learn that kind of technique. Tsunade was in shock. He actually learned it in 1 week. I can't believe it. Gurren got up a bit and Naruto looked at her. Damn, you are resilient. Gurren looked at the Jinchuriki with a smirk. I am able to crystallize any part of my body quickly. There is a reason that I am Orochimaru's strongest right hand. Suddenly she shook as she coughed up blood and fell to the floor. Damn, he was able to damage me internally as well, fuck. Naruto looked over at Tsunade. I will be taking that necklace now, Tsunade dono. Tsunade smiled. You little brat is fine. It is your dream to become Hokage, so finally just one more time, I can place my trust in you with this necklace. She put it on him and Naruto smiled at her. Orochimaru glanced over at Naruto. That kid is going to be a threat to my plans as well as become a hassle to the Akatsuki. The best choice to deal with him is to kill right now. The snake Sannin moved in towards Naruto and Jiraiya followed suit. Orochimaru used his tongue to wrap around Jiraiya's ankle to slam him into the ground while he had the kusanagi out in his mouth to stab Naruto in the back. Tsunade noticed him and pushed Naruto out of the way to take the blow. Naruto took the time to try and stab him with Oblivion, but Orochimaru dodged and moved a good distance away. I wasn't trying to kill you. If this kid survives, he will cause a great deal of trouble for me. Don't get in my way. Tsunade coughed up blood and moved in front of Naruto. No, I am not going to let you harm Naruto. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes. Why are you wasting time, risking your life to save one worthless brat? Naruto retorted, says the guy that is afraid of death. Orochimaru ignored the jibe and Tsunade said, that kid is going to become the next Hokage. Her former teammate replied, that title is worthless, only fools would want it. Tsunade looked up at him. Then I will bet my life as well. And I, bitch. Naruto blocked the strike and gave him a savage kick to the chest. Suddenly at that moment, Tsunade's trembling stopped and Orochimaru was rocketed further into several rocks and trees. Damn, Naruto said as he looked at her to see that her forehead was covered in purple vine-like markings coming from the diamond on her forehead. A seal for what? Naruto thought in bewilderment. Tsunade said, I will take over from here. Naruto, you tend to Shizune. This is an order for the Goddamn Hokage of the Hidden Leaf. Shizune shouted, wait Tsunade-sama, let me heal your wounds, don't open that seal. Tsunade didn't listen as she activated it, Ninpo. Sozo Saisei. Her wounds hissed as light steam came from them and Orochimaru looked on with interest. It seems that I am not the only one developing new, care to explain. Fine, I will indulge you this once. I have been gathering chakra to the seal of my forehead for quite some time. By using that chakra, I used it to stimulate production of various enzymes that accelerated my cell duplication rate for rapid reformation. I can reconstruct any damaged parts and organs of my body. In other words, it is not simple healing, but regeneration. She wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth and put it on her forearm, which also means that I will never die in battle ever. Shizune thought grimly, but the number of times that each human cell can multiply is limited. If she quickens the process, that technique shortens her life. Gurin struggled to get up in her weakened state and shouted, Orochimaru-sama, the Manda. She rushed over there just as Jiraiya began to do the summoning along with Tsunade. When the large smoke cleared, it revealed Gamabunta as well as a purple horned snake and a white and green slug. Tsuyu and Tsunade, Manda and Orochimaru long time no see. Planning some sort of reunion, eh, Jiraiya? The toad asked. Jiraiya retorted, don't crack jokes when I call you for a tough job, it is time to settle an old enmity. We are going to defeat Orochimaru now. Manda spoke up, hey, Orochimaru, what the hell are you smoking, summoning me here for the lame excuse for land? Are you begging me to eat your ass? Gurin pleaded with the snake, please, Manda-sama, we will thank you generously later. Manda replied, was I talking to your ass? No, so shut the fuck up, you idiotic bitch. Gurin wisely shut up as the snake continued, I want 100 sacrifices after this, you got me? Gurin thought to herself, using him in this situation is very risky. Manda would betray Orochimaru in a split second if he ever found out that Orochimaru-sama can't use any of his. Manda turned to Gamabunta, you want me to turn you into toad jerky, huh? Gamabunta said as he drew his tanto, I always wanted a snakeskin wallet. Tsuyu stayed silent and Jiraiya commented, Orochimaru, you adopted an evil way that is just too much, we're no longer comrades. Comrades? Ha, don't make me laugh. After this, there will be one less Anin. Tsunade declared. The legendary summons attacked at once. Tsuyu shouted, Zessi Nensen. Acid spewed from her mouth and Manda slithered around to avoid it. He was able to constrict himself around Tsuyu and opened his mouth to bite the slug and inject his deadly venom, but Gamabunta chose to intervene by having Manda clamp down on his tanto. Manda squeezed harder, causing Tsuyu to split into numerous slugs of herself. Manda took the time to use Gamabunta's tanto as a projectile, but the toad dodged it. Jiraiya cried out, Bunta. Gimme some oil. Alright. Gamabunta shouted in compliment as Jiraiya spat out, Kaiten. Kikaku no Jutsu. In his mind, collaboration jutsu. Kaiten. Gameyu Enden. The flames surrounded and engulfed Manda in a fiery blaze, and when the smoke cleared, he noticed that Manda had indeed escaped the blast and shedded his skin. Skin molting. Suddenly the ground erupted in a line, and Gamabunta caught it with his hands, only to realize that it was his tail. Manda's head popped out from behind to bite the toad, but Tsunade jumped up in the air to slam Gamabunta's tanto to close Manda's mouth. Keep it shut. She shouted. It is troublesome to fight both of them at the same time, Orochimaru thought as he shot out his tongue, and it wrapped around Tsunade's neck, but Tsunade grabbed it and pulled him downwards to her as she shouted, let's end this. She slammed her fist straight into Orochimaru's jaw. Damn, her punch went straight to his jaw. Gurin thought. Manda spoke up in pain, GRR, how dare you shame me like this, I would rip you to pieces myself, but with a hole in my mouth, I can't swallow a thing. Until we meet again, prepare yourself for death. Soon Orochimaru stood up to reveal that it was not the real him, there are other ways to get my arms back, Tsunade. I am immortal. He began to disappear into the earth while Gurin stared at Naruto for a moment. We will meet again, and this time, I won't make the mistake of underestimating you, Naruto. I will kill you next time we meet. The crystal user said. Then she did a Shoten Shunshin and disappeared. Tsunade tried to stop them, but the effects of Sozo Saisei chose to act up. Jiraiya checked over his injuries to find out that he broke a rib and leg. Tsunade suddenly felt the after effects of her and her true age showed. Double-edged technique? Naruto asked. Don't worry, I will be fine with a bit of rest, Naruto-kun. Tsunade said, now let's go. We have to go back to Konoha in 2 days' time. Tsunade smiled as she walked through the streets of her birthplace and home. This place hasn't changed a bit, Jiraiya commented, indeed it hasn't. Now that you are becoming the Godame, a lot of changes are going to occur. Her face grew serious at that, yes, and the first thing I am going to do is change this council. Jiraiya informs the council, sensei, and the elders that we are having a meeting in an hour. Jiraiya nodded and left, Tsunade said. Now let's take care of Itachi's victims as well as that Taijutsu kid you were reminding me about, Naruto. Tsunade moved with Naruto, Shizune, and Taunton to the hospital. First, she healed Sasuke, who was very stoic, and Sakura hugged him while bursting out in tears. After that, Tsunade heals Kakashi and berates him for being so careless. Honestly, how does someone of your caliber get hit like this? Kakashi sighed, sorry to disappoint you, ma'am. Naruto, and Shizune chuckled at that and moved on to the other critical patients in the hospitals. After that, she went to the Hokage main building and looked over the academy as well as the hospital. So I think this is going to be a problem really, flower arrangement class, no wonder there are mostly fangirls here. Shizune, we are going to restart the medic nin process, girls and boys will take this class, and you are going to teach it. What? But Tsunade-sama, someone has to help with the paperwork. She said in protest. The female Sannin replied, I have that covered alright, you are the most qualified medic ninja, and this Haku girl that Naruto is fond of happened to be very close, with a bit more training, she will be even better, besides I will be training several kunoichi under my wing. She handed the files to her apprentice, and Shizune read out loud, Haku Mamachi, Ino Yamanaka, Hinata Hyuga, Sakura Haruno, and Tenten Tsunade nodded, they show the most promise out of all the kunoichi here. Just then Jiraiya came through the window, Tsunade Haim, the council is ready for you. Council room. Tsunade stood before the council along with Naruto, Shizune, and Jiraiya, as well as Taunton. Welcome back, Tsunade. Kaharu spoke up, we almost believed that you were not coming at all. The slug Sannin replied, I wasn't at first, but your little brat made me have a change of heart. Now enough about that, on to business, my first objective will be starting with this council. One civilian answered, what of it? From what I have heard, the power of the council has made everyone arrogant, therefore that power will be limited. Another civilian shouted out in protest, you can't do that. You are right, I can't do it now until I'm inaugurated as the Goddamn Hokage, be glad I am telling you this beforehand. Now this is going to happen, this is a ninja village therefore the leader of that village that would be me, calls the shots here. Each of you will have 2 representatives for the ninja, advisors, and civilians. She paused for a moment, Hiashi Hyuga, you will be in charge of the northern and eastern district, while Shino Aburam is in charge of the south and west. Hiruzen Sarutobi and Danzo Shimura, you 2 will be the new advisors. Amura replied, surely you jest. Suddenly a kunai appeared at his hand, and they followed it to see Tsunade's outstretched arm, and she coldly replied, interrupt me again, old man, and you will lose that hand, regardless of the fact that you are my sensei's teammate or not. Tsune whispered, damn. Now Hiashi will head the Kurama, Nara, Akamichi, and Yamanaka clans, while Aburam-sen will take the Inyazuka, Sarutobi, Uchiha, and Uzumaki, although Uchiha and Uzumaki will not be taking their seats until they are at the age of 16 or have become chunin with at least 2 years of experience. She turned to Sarutobi and Shimura, sensei, Danzo-san, and you 2 will advise me on certain crises, such as our force, the Akatsuki, and our dangerous missing ninjas, as well as other things in the village. Final say will belong to me, Hamura-san, and Kaharu-san will be helping me with the paperwork, and the civilian council will be dealing with their own paperwork. Sarutobi looked at Tsunade and thought, she planned this out very well. Also we will change the curriculum in the academy, the students will do the D-rank missions, switching off in groups of 3 to get them ready. Flower arrangements will be toned down, and a class for medics will be mandatory for boys and girls. Tsunade said in a serious tone, any questions? The ninja clan heads and elders said nothing for a moment, and Tsunade continued, next, the civilian council will come to Hamura or Kaharu to check over, and I will sign it off if I deemed it necessary. Now gentlemen, ladies, the meeting is adjourned. Naruto inwardly smirked, she just muscled her way into them to give in to her demands. Kaharu said softly, the inauguration starts tomorrow. Soon after Tsunade was put in office, the Genin and Chunin were not only doing C rank, but B rank as well to keep up the visage that Konoha was bitten by a mere ant rather than a viper. The academy started to show a lesser influx of fangirls coming in due to Shizune's training, as well as the new teachings were more focused on training than history. Also the new council was working very well and hardly caused any problems, except for the idealistic bickering between Sarutobi and Shimura, usually clashing over the idea of Naruto. Although he was an exceptional Chunin rank ninja and has the Hyoten bloodline as well as the physiology of a half-demon, he was still a Jinchuriki that needed to be protected or in Danzo's own words, controlled. As for Sasuke, he was still attempting to get Haku to go on a date with him, but Naruto was usually with her or either Tayuya and Itsumi. At the same time, the Uchiha had a friendly rivalry with Katana, and after Team 7's last mission, Sakura was a bit useful due to some strength conditioning. Sasuke was defeated by a Jonin of AIM and missing ninja of Konoha, Aoi Rakusho, while Naruto finished the battle, using the Rasengan on the Jonin, killing him and retrieving the Raijin no Ken, as well as his head back to Konoha via sealing scroll. Hospital. Sasuke sat in silence as he thought, how did this happen? How the hell did that bumbling idiot surpass my skills? He was nothing to me at all, but ever since he met Haku, he has gotten so much stronger. Not only does he know, but he somehow can use Haku's bloodline and defeat opponents that I couldn't defeat with my own power. Am I inferior? He didn't even hear Sakura walk out of the room to come back and peel apples for him. Sakura tried to feed him, but the Uchiha glared at her for a moment before he slapped the apples out of her hand. Where is Naruto? I don't know, what does Naruto have to do with anything? Sakura replied. The Uchiha left in a huff and leaped out of the window, searching for the Uzumaki, and Sakura looked out in shock before giving chase after him. Meanwhile, Naruto was in his backyard, sparring against Tayuya to get her back in shape. Is that all you got? He taunted the Redeed as she aimed a right kick in retaliation to his taunt. He dodged it only to receive a punch in the chest. Damn, you hit hard. Thanks, shithead. Tayuya replied with a smile as she sent kunai at him rapidly. Naruto's eyes widened as he dodged them in seconds and caught the last one aimed at his testicles and eye. His eyes twitched. Really? Really, you know I need those? Hell, I have plans for those. The foul-mouthed Redeed smirked. You did say that anything goes. Naruto sighed in exasperation and threw her kunai at her feet. Well, that was a good workout. Say, where is Haku? The former sound girl shrugged her shoulders. How should I know? The Jinchuriki nodded. Of course he walked inside to see Natsumi on the couch, reading. Hello, Natsumi, how are you settling up here? Natsumi looked up with a smile. Pretty good, Uzumaki-san, and thank you for asking if you have a nice home. In turn, he softly smiled. Yeah, this was my parents' home actually. It's a shame that they are not here today. Both of your parents were formidable warriors. Yeah, I would love to meet them someday. Suddenly Haku walked into the house and Naruto noticed her frown, so he cheered her up by greeting her with a kiss on her cheek. Hey, Haku-chan, what is wrong? She answered, grinding her teeth. Your teammate is gone from the hospital, looking for you for some reason. Me? Naruto replied. Why? I haven't done anything to him at all. Next, the residents of the Namikaze house heard the cry of the Uchiha, Naruto. The Jinchuriki went out to see Sasuke huffing, and the blonde-turned black-haired Chunin commented, well, it seems you are healthy. What do you require from me? Fight me, eh? Why? You just got better, how about you wait for a few days to recover a bit and then I will fight you. Sasuke shouted, activating his Sharingan. I said fight me now, damn it. Naruto frowned. Look, Sasuke, I am not going to fight you at all now, we can spar later. He turned around only to be stopped by a kunai dangerously close to his head and embedded into the door, and Sasuke replied, no, we fight now. Why? Why now? You think that you are better than me because you became a Chunin? You think that you helped me by bringing that woman to heal me? Well, you are wrong, you didn't. The Chunin shoved his hands into his pockets. I don't have time or the patience to soothe your bruised ego. Just because I barely managed to beat the shit out of the opponents you couldn't. Not only that, but you got Chunin status because of that. I earned that status because I used my hard-earned skills to beat my opponents. It was supposed to be mine. Naruto replied. I am done. He began to stride inside his new home while Sasuke ranted. You, from a worthless clan and hardly any good skills, are the one surpassing me as well as that ice whore that you somehow forced her to give her bloodline to you. You never had that strength until she came into the picture. The Jinchuriki stopped and said in a calm, eerie tone, what did you say? The only reason that you are strong is because of your who. Suddenly Naruto was in front of him with an ice dagger at his teammate's throat. Insult me all you want, but never dare insult Haku or anyone else I care about. Training Area 3, 15 minutes I will be waiting. He disappeared via Hyo Shunshin from the porch of his home, while the Uchiha smirked as he leaped off to the training grounds, leaving a worried Haku and a shocked Tayuya. He is really pissed off, ain't he? Irideed said, and Haku nodded in agreement. Natsumi-san, can you please watch over Naruto and the Uchiha? I have a feeling that it might escalate, and I don't want them using lethal force, or both of the repercussions will be disastrous. Natsumi nodded and went to the training grounds with haste. 15 minutes later, at the training area number 3, Naruto sat to meditate and converse with the Kyuubi. The demon fox replied, personally I commend you for defending your wife's honor. The Uchiha went too far in this. I know, but this isn't like him. True, ever since you saved Haku, you have changed for the better. Your teammate can't seem to accept that change, which would mean he would be accepting that you have been growing stronger over the past months. The Jinchuriki replied, so he is intimidated by me. Yes, that is correct, Uchihas are very prideful. Naruto nodded in agreement with his tenant, that much is certain. Soon Sasuke reached the training ground and Jinchuriki said as he got up, you are finally here, are you ready? Sasuke activates his Sharingan with a smirk, was born ready. No above B rank as well as no kill shots. Sasuke smirked, fine by me. The reason for his smirk was that he knew that his new technique, the Chidori, was a B rank. Next, Naruto asked, aren't you going to put on your headband? For what? To show that this is a fight marking us as equals. Equals? Don't make me laugh, you won't be able to scratch my forehead. Naruto sighed, oh, here we go. The Uchiha paced while looking straight at him, beginning his monologue, you are so full of yourself, Naruto, you actually think that you are on par with me. The The only thing that you have done was just steal a bloodline to make yourself stronger and ride on your bitch's coattails. The Jinchuriki shot back with a raised eyebrow, and this is coming from a guy whose Dijutsu's sole purpose is to copy and analyze anything in the world except sealless and forbidden. Sasuke charged with a fist cocked to hit him, but the newly minted Chunin blocked it with ease and sent his own. Soon they were at a stalemate, and next, the Uchiha sent out a kick to Naruto's ribs, but the Uzumaki caught it to toss him away and started his hand signs. Suiton. Miserapa. A spray of water hit the Uchiha square in the face, blinding him momentarily as Naruto followed up with a dropkick. Sasuke managed to get up quickly and shouted, Katen. Kikaku no Jutsu. Hyoten. Tsubam Fubuki. Sasuke's large fireball was attacked by a swarm of ice swallows, causing steam to build up. Sasuke said as he thought back to the Yuki no Kuni mission, and Naruto said, what? You didn't think that I would pass up an opportunity to learn some Yukigaku? That power should be mine. I didn't ask for the bloodline, Sasuke. It was a bonus that my chakra assimilated hers into my system. I was trying to save her from dying for a lost cause. Shut up. Sasuke yelled out in rage as he launched an assault, making Naruto dodge and weave. You should be groveling at my feet like a common dog. I should be the stronger one. How am I supposed to defeat my brother, the one who killed my whole clan when the gap is so far between us? Your brother was an Anbu captain at your age, Sasuke. If you want to beat him, you have to find something that you want to return to, so you can find that inner strength to overcome him. Naruto said as he kneed his comrade in the stomach, but the loner doesn't need a friend, that is why your growth has sputtered to a stop. Naruto turned from his fallen comrade and walked away. When you realize what you have, then you can come and find me again. Soon his ears perked up to the distinct sound of birds chirping to see Sasuke charging at him with his Chidori. Naruto stared at him, tensed up and ready to perform the Rasengan until Kakashi came in front of Sasuke, grabbing his wrist to redirect into a rock to destroy it into rubble. Well, this is a bit extreme for a sparring match. Jonin said nonchalantly. Sakura came trailing behind, and Naruto said nothing, but Kakashi said, it seems that I need to have a little chat with Sasuke. Haruno said, why Sasuke-kun? Aren't you going to talk to Naruto too? Natsumi made herself known from the shadows. That would be because of the spar's terms, no above B rank and no kill shots. Uchiha was using Chidori with intent to kill due to that type of attack. It is certainly not to be used against a comrade. Kakashi said, that seems correct in the honesty of your words, Natsumi-san. Naruto, that technique, how far were you going to go to counteract that? The Jinchuriki replied in a calm tone, only the second step, if it was full power, would have done more harm than good. Now I will be returning home. With that, he joined Natsumi in the walk home to his friends and lover. From afar, 4 unknown people with a purple rope tied around their waist. One was a chubby tan man with a mohawk, another was an effeminate boy with 2 heads, and there was a tan 6-armed guy, along with a blue-haired girl with a permanent scowl upon her face. The effeminate boy said, shall we begin? Suddenly Sasuke was trapped by ninja wire, and he glared at the person who trapped him. What is the meaning of this? Kakashi said, well, if I didn't do this, then you would have run away from me. You are not the type of person to sit through a lecture. The 6 arms commented, that is Sharingan no Kakashi. Look, the Chidori is not the type of weapon you use against your comrades, especially a person like Naruto. I thought I beat that concept into your head. Also I will need you to quit seeking revenge. Sasuke glared at him, and the Jonin continued, I know that you don't want to do it, believe me, I know the feeling. In this line of work, I have seen how bad guys like you can get in the end. Those who finally grasped vengeance were not stated and ended up in tragedy. You will only hurt and suffer more. Even if you are successful in killing Itachi, you will be left with nothing but emptiness. Sasuke said, what the hell do you know about? What if I kill the one you love the most? You can't because all the ones that I love the most are dead. Sasuke looked up in shock, and Kakashi said, you see, I know how you feel about it, and it does hurt when I think about it, but you have to remember we may not be the lucky ones, but we are not the worst since we found precious comrades to protect. Kakashi released him and said, the Chidori is a great power, a sword to shield your friends from harm. Just think about what I said. What do you think about Naruto? Kakashi stiffened a bit and said, I have underestimated him. I never thought that he would amount to anything after the wave mission, which is why I focused on you, but now I am not so sure. Now that his mask is off, I don't know him anymore. The man left the area, leaving the Uchiha to his thoughts. The 6-armed boy said to his comrades, it will be much easier if the Uchiha is wandering about alone. I think that we can wait a bit. The Bluenet replied, it is impossible for a bunch of incompetent shitheads like you guys, but I can do it. The emo boy other than Sasuke spoke up, I wonder 2 would be enough to cut his throat to pieces. The Bluenet shouted, shut the fuck up, you bitch. The meaty man turned to the lone girl and said, girls shouldn't talk like, shut up, fattest. Soon night rolled in, and the Sound 4 leaped into action, surrounding Sasuke. Uchiha got up as he said, alright, who the hell are you for? Sound 4, Kitamaru of the East Gate. Hirobo of the South Gate. Seiken of the West Gate. Durin. Then Kitamaru chose the time to strike and sent a punch at Sasuke, who reacted by blocking and using his back as a support to send a kick to Seiken's throat. He clambered onto Kitamaru just as Jirobo came at him with a punch. The boy ducked under it as he slipped his arm into Kitamaru's rope, grabbed Jirobo's arm, and threw them both into Seiken and Guren. The four smashed into each other, only to reveal slowly that they each had substituted with a log. He glanced behind him to notice the four standing there and said, "You four, you caught me in a bad mood, so if you want more, then I will not hold back." Seiken scoffed, "Quit yapping like a whimpering dog. Come on, I will play a melody on your broken ribs." Sasuke leaped at him, and Seiken said to his comrades, "I'll handle this." Seiken sent a kick to Sasuke, but he blocked it and discreetly used his ninja wire to tie it around his leg, then he ducked under the other one and pulled the string. "My legs are strings." Sasuke smirked as he went from a sweeping kick and Seiken used his forearm to block it. He grabbed the Uchiha's leg firmly, prompting Sasuke to send a punch, which Seiken also caught within his grasp, and then sent his free leg, which was blocked by his opponent's forearms. The Uchiha smirked as he was going to send his free hand into Seiken's stomach, only to see him smirk, and said, "Let me hear the music." Suddenly Sasuke was slammed back into the tree, and he thought, damn, where did that attack come from? Next came Kitamaru, who sent a low kick, making the boy jump up in the air, and then the six arms sent a webbing at Sasuke's arms, then threw him over to Jirobo, who sent an earth-crushing blow to his gut back to Seiken. Let's hear the rest of the notes. Sasuke quickly grabbed the edge and slammed his foot into Seiken's chin to start him up with his Shishirenden, and all of the hits connected with the effeminate boy, sending him into the wood, but then Seiken appeared to be unharmed and got up to grab the boy by the ankle. "Ha, I wonder why Orochimaru-sama wants some weakest like you. Kaminro had more potential than this one. What the hell? I landed every blow from my Shishirenden, and this guy just got up to walk it off. If you stay in this piece of shit of a village, you will never become stronger, you will be weak like everyone else. Playing family games with your comrades will only make you rot," Seiken said as he threw Sasuke against the wall. Guren looked at him as she spoke up, "Come with us. If you do, Orochimaru-sama will give you power." Namika's hot spring Naruto sat in the hot spring to relax when he heard someone slip in the water beside him, and he smiled instantly at who it was. "Hello, Haku-chan." The ebony-haired boy opened his eyes to see the chocolate-brown eyes he grew to love. "Good evening, Naruto-kun, need some company? You don't have to ask me if your presence is always soothing." She giggled as she went behind him to massage his shoulders. "You are such a charmer, Naruto-kun." They were silent for a few moments until Haku asked, "Are you okay?" The Jinchuriki sighed, "I am alright, Haku-chan. I apologize for my teammate's harassment towards you. He believes that ever since I got your bloodline, I am stronger than him, although I hardly use it at all in normal circumstances." Haku kept massaging as she spoke, "Well, you have gotten stronger by training a lot, and you have used a bit in dire situations or stick to your taijutsu and Futon techniques. You also have something that he doesn't have, the heart and will to protect someone in need, no matter what the cost." "Thanks, Haku-chan." Haku kissed the back of his neck, "My pleasure." Later, the Uchiha came over to the training ground to meditate until he heard a crashing sound over in the distance. He got up and was watching Katana fighting against invisible enemies, using the trees as her targets with her claws. "Gatenga!" she shouted as she spun through the air in a somersault and began to cut through several trees. Katana stopped at the end of the trail of split trees, panting hard with her hands on her knees. "Damn it, it is still not good enough at all. I need to hold it longer. This isn't good enough. How am I supposed to keep up with the other rookies if I am left behind?" Sasuke came up behind Katana. "Sasuke. What are you doing here this late?" "Well, I was trying to meditate over some things that happened to Naruto today. I found myself lacking in this place. I feel so weak." Katana crossed her arms. "Yeah, I know what you mean. He was the dope, and suddenly he grew so powerful in such a short time. He defeated my cousin, Kiba, and then he came to defeat Niji soundly, the former rookie of the year. Then that Gaara kid, and now he is a Chunin with Shikamaru. It is crazy. It is all because of that Haku girl. She gave him that power. I don't know, Sasuke, despite that Naruto somehow got her, it wouldn't be easy to control such power without practice, and he has been practicing a lot in his ninjutsu to control it at will. It took us clan heirs a lot of practice to get our skills down to the level in conjunction with our physical strength." Sasuke growled, "I know that he took it, but something must have happened to him to make him attain such strength in a short time, I just know it. Why are you so worried about him?" Sasuke shouted, "Because that bastard beat me in a fight. So I am not supposed to lose, I am supposed to be stronger than him. Every opponent I have faced ever since I have been with him has been defeated by him. Gaara, his girlfriend, and Aoi Rakusho, everyone." Katana looked at him, "Sasuke, in this world, there will always be someone stronger than you, despite how you look at it. We will always surpass the previous generation sooner or later, but everyone has a different growth rate. The Uchiha looked at the sky, then there was nothing for me here. What? I was given an offer to train and obtain great power. I have made my decision. I will be leaving Konohagakure and going to Atogakure to seek power from Orochimaru. Orochimaru, he was the one who attacked the Hokage, the one who attacked our home. This place stopped being a home when my family was killed. Katana got within her stance. Sasuke, you are making a big mistake if you even think that I will let you leave here. Sasuke moved instantly, and Katana's eyes widened as her wrists were grabbed by Sasuke, who had a cruel smirk on his face, as well as black flame-like marks covering his body. Then I will force you to let me leave. Uchiha began to slam his fists against her torso and face repeatedly until she was unconscious. He looked down at her still form and said, now take my prize. His laughter rang through the forest as he lifted his voice to the sky. Soon, Sasuke returned home and packed his things up as well as stocked up on his kunai and shuriken. He took one look at the Team 7 picture on his desk and took out his hand to turn it down. Just as he was walking towards the gate, he saw Sakura and said, what are you doing out here in the middle of the night? Sakura answered, everyone who leaves has to pass on this road. It is always the road over here. Sasuke walked past her, you should go to bed. Sakura began to cry and turned as she shouted, I was always making you mad. Do you still remember? The time we became genin and the first time that I ever talked to you alone. Sasuke replied, I don't remember that. I thought so too. It was a long time ago. Ever since that day, I have felt that you and I had made a bond. Naruto always tried to get in the way or something, but when I was on your team, it made me feel happy. I know what happened to your family, but a thing like revenge will not bring anyone happiness. You're right, it won't bring anyone happiness. But like I thought, I am not like the rest of you, we all walk different paths. When our team was completing missions, I had thought that was my path, but after everything my heart tells me that I am an avenger, this is why I am alive. I will never be like you or Naruto. Sasuke, do you plan on being alone again? You were the one who told me the pain of loneliness. Right now, I am feeling that pain too. Even though I have family and friends, without you in my life, Sasuke to me, I will still be lonely. These are just new steps we must take on our own paths. But I like you so much that I can't stand it. If we were together, I promise that you won't forget it. We'll live happily together every day and we'll definitely find happiness. I am willing to do anything for you, so please stay. I'm begging you. I would even kill for you, anything that you want me to do. I will do it, just stay here with me or at least take me with you. Sasuke turned his head slightly to her and said, you really are very annoying. With that, he walked off and Sakura ran forward a bit, don't leave. I swear that I will start screaming if you take one more step, and suddenly the Uchiha appeared behind her, Sakura thanks. With that, he knocked her out and set her on the bench. Once he reached out on the hill to find the Sound 4 waiting for him, Seiken knelt before him. We've been waiting for Sasuke-sama. What is this all about now? Ever since we left the village, we have decided for you to lead us, so please forgive our earlier actions. It is fine either way, let's go, it is about to begin, and prepare for a fight. Why, Sasuke-sama? Because I know for a fact that Naruto and Sakura will come after, most likely Naruto since he is the strongest one out of our group. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. And make sure to check out the author of this fanfic, link is in the description, see you next time, till then sayonara.